Welcome to the Brightstar Lifestyle Podcast, where we say yes to joy. Brightstar Lifestyle is in the business of improving life, equipping people with knowledge and skills. We specialize in personal development and guide people and organizations through a life-changing journey. Enjoy! Good day, Bright Stars. It's so nice to chat with you again, and it's very special to have Arnel Huisamen with us. We had a previous podcast with Arnel and enjoyed the discussion so much that we said we want another chat. Hello, Arnel.
Hello, Amanda. It's so lovely to be here again. Thank you so much for the privilege.
Thank you so much for being here. If you want to know a little bit more about Arnel, she stays in Mossel Bay area and she's married for 25 years with Giel, and they have two sons, Renko and Evan, and they are living with their families in two different directions of the world, one family in New Zealand and the other in Norway. Arnel is retired after 27 years in the South African Police Service. She was a social worker, but she's definitely not just sitting around. She has a lot that she's doing. And we want to chat to you, Arnel, about your PhD, that you did research on the impact and return on investment of social skills training. So we would love to hear more about this interesting research.
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, I must admit, training is really a passion for me, and I believe in the power of empowerment and teaching people knowledge and skills, and in order to have behavior changes. So, and also to impact people's future in a way maybe that they wouldn't have imagined. So, and everything starts with education. It's so important. So, yes, let me tell you a bit what was interesting, what we have done with the study. We measured knowledge, attitude, and behavior changes of the soft skills training that we've done. So we've done a pre and a post questionnaire. So it was before the intervention and after the intervention, but we also did a pre-post questionnaire 6 months after the intervention, because it's very easy to say when you have just finished training and you really enjoyed it and it was like, wow, I learned all of these things, then you've got a very good intention to have behavior change. But the question, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Did you actually change? So that because of that reason, we did a questionnaire or a focus group 6 months after the interventions to hear, did that change in knowledge, attitude, and behavior, did it translate to real behavior change on the long term?
I'm really impressed to hear about the post research, because a lot of times we don't see the long-term effect with soft skills. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. I think it was very beneficial to actually find that although people might have forgotten some of the actual, the knowledge in short term, the details, that the behavior did change. And that is why it's so important to see, if I go to a company and I tell you, listen, I want to have your employees, or I want to empower them with soft skills, what would be the benefit in rand and cents? Because companies are there to make money. So what is the return on their investment for investing in their people's soft skills? So that I want to share my screen with you, what we have found and what are the benefits of doing return on investments studies. There you go. So how we did the basics of the ROI is we the things that were involved in the measurement, it covers 3 broad issues, like you can see here. The cost involved for the service, and obviously that cost is not only the cost of the training, it's also the time of the trainees, the people that attend, or the participants that attend the training. It's also their costs in terms of the time that is used for the training. That was also translated into rand and cents. And then we take the benefits that was derived from it and the results that were achieved. So there is a small little sum there to say that it was actually a very scientific measurement. So to calculate the return on investment, we did the benefits of the program minus the costs, and then we divided it by what did it cost to present this program. And what we found is that we can measure that impact on the increases in productivity. And there we talk about the quality of services, because that is in the end what we want. We want to increase the quality of the service or the product that is rendered by the employee, and then also the labor and other cost savings that will be brought about by the intervention. So that entails things like, I think this is a very, let me just go to a view where you can see better. If we look at things like the improvement in the quality of service, it could be things like in the labor force, improved morale, they can make better decisions. Work behavior can be better because of soft skills. Motivation can improve. Job satisfaction can improve. Social functioning and self-esteem, relationships within the organization. And then obviously, if you work with your employees, let's say, ability to handle problems and to communicate better, to know how to handle conflict, for example, know how to work with their money. The last one on this table, a reduction in the negative effect of personal and family problems. That is a huge thing, although it's not at the work, because that has such a big influence on work behavior and things like morale, etc., etc. And then that is on the personnel side. Then the next one is the operations time. So there we can see it can have an influence on improved job performance and the workers' productivity. Response time, I'm just going to leave it here so you can have a look at, maybe you can pause the video or make a screenshot or whatever to see what are some of the outcomes of, if we talk about the improvement of services. All right, so now the next one that was a real benefit that we measured was the labor and other cost savings, like, for example, reduced employee turnover. Now, it was found that to replace one employee costs 150% of his or her annual salary. So you would rather don't want employee turnover to be high, but rather empower your own employee. It's a definite reduced replacement cost, reduced absenteeism, which is a huge issue. And then we talk about medical benefits, reduced early retirements, because all of this is linked to employee morale, etc., etc. So then obviously as well, the reduced production time, lost production time, to reduce production time lost to sick leave and to visits to the doctor. And if I can give you an example of this, it would be something like, if we would say, for example, if we teach people how to work better with their money, then there will be less time that they spend on the phone with people who want to collect debt, or to organize with the people which they owe, or even I think sometimes people really want to avoid it at all costs, that the phone ring. and that is what's happening. So in order to reduce that time during work time that's lost to even speak to another employee, that are all rand and cents, because now I'm talking to you about this huge debt that I have and the problems that I have and how am I going to get out of this. Then it's not only time for the work lost for that one employee, but also for the other one, because I'm talking to my my colleague, or time spent. Or if you think about the stress, for example, that you have because of debt-related problems, then that could result in stress, which can lead to disease. Then you have to go to the doctor. And that time is lost, doctor visits. And it's also something like real stress-related disease, which can lead, for example, to somebody saying, listen, I can't work anymore, etc., etc. So it sounds like something small, but just to empower your employee to be able to know how to work with his money, to teach them financial literacy skills. And that is a thing that we don't even think of as soft skills development.
When you share this, I am so impressed to think that employees may not even think of something like the telephone call or talking to someone during work time. That is impressive. And then we are focusing on the research for financial training, but then we can think of things like wellness training, just going in that direction. Wow. So thank you for this information.
Yeah, if we think about wellness, a direct influence on your health, literally, if you're not healthy, you can't work.
Yes,
you can't be productive.
People sometimes think that soft skills, or someone will say this is essential skills because it's so important, but people sometimes dismiss it. And you showing with the research, the return on investment would definitely, it will be worth the while to invest in training in soft skills.
Yeah, that is what the study definitely found. And it was by quite an immense measure that the impact was measured. So no, for sure, we don't, because we can't literally see it with our eyes, the product, then we dismiss it. And believe me, if it's not there, then you will miss your productive employee and the return on investment for your company and productivity. So no, it's very, very real and relevant.
Yeah, and now this was so interesting. I have a lot of extra questions that I would like to ask, but I think maybe we can make the last question just. Do you see from the research that you've done the long-term effect? So we already see there's effect for the company, but I'm curious, do you see that people really keep on making good decisions after life skills training? So on the long term, what was your experience with the results?
Remember, if, for example, if we take again the example of financial literacy, then if somebody is already quite fluent in financial literacy, then obviously they wouldn't derive benefit from the program. So we didn't take them into consideration when we did or we did take them into consideration the fact that not everybody that's there will have the same value from your training intervention. And obviously not everybody will benefit in the long run in terms of still apply the knowledge that they have learned, but most of the people we found did still remember that they did actually change the behavior. Most of them, I can't tell you the percentage now, but it was definitely more that did change the behavior than didn't. So if we are realistic, not everybody will change, but most of them will change their behavior.
Yeah, thank you so much. With Brightstar, we say that we want to help people with personal and leadership development to win at work and life. And I can see that your research really touches on both winning at work and life. For us, it's to focus that at the end, we can really experience joy, and the company can even experience good results in joy for the company, not only for the employee with soft skills training. Thank you very much.
If I can just add, I think what will definitely be beneficial if there is on a regular basis, if you can actually connect again with those people who has completed the program, to keep that interest and that motivation alive. I think that will definitely also be beneficial on the long run to have increased behavior change.
You touch my heart there, because I feel every time that we do marketing, we hear people say, this is too long. We don't have time for a growth conversation later on. We want to use the shortcuts, but we don't see the same results. So I think that is an extra interesting discussion on how we can see the long-term results with reviewing and going back.
Yes.
Thank you so much. If anyone wants some more information, you can contact Arnel at her email address, Arnel Huisamen. That is Huis and then Amen at gmail.com. So thank you, Arnel, and thank you for really intriguing us with this research, opening up a few new questions that can maybe benefit companies, organizations, and their employees.
It's just a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity, Amanda.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. You can visit us at www.brightstarlifestyle.co.za. Keep on shining.